From Citizen TV, this is the Monday Report with Trevor Ombija.
Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Monday Report. We're back on the road. The Monday Town Hall is on the road and we're live in Kibra, the Salama Jamia Masjid Hall in Kibra for good reason. We're having a conversation with the people about the budget 2025-2026. 4.2 trillion shilling budget, a deficit of about 876 billion. Are we living beyond our means? And most important, what's in that budget for the people? This is a conversation we'll be having later on here with my guest in studio. Honorable John Mbadi will be here as a Cabinet Secretary for Treasury. Honorable Peter Ochieng Orero is the Member of Parliament for Kibra. Honorable Peter Imwatok, Majority Leader at the Nairobi County Assembly. And Honorable Chieng Jera, MCA Lindi Ward. They'll be asking all the questions to Waziri. We'd also like you to send in all your questions at Trevor Ombija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Monday Report. Stand by for that conversation. But first, our top stories tonight. Protest at Central Police Station in Nairobi Funeral Home. Activists demand justice for late blogger Ojwang as government chief pathologist pulls out of the post-mortem exercise. Blood stains on clothes, shoes and cell walls. Shocking findings at Central Police Station and several officers are interdicted over blogger Ojwang's death.
And we want to therefore tell the president, please strike your whip on people who are violating rights.
Lawmakers from Nyanza condemn blogger Ojwang's killing and call on President Ruto to overhaul the National Police Service.
Did you encounter any death? Anyone who was killed during that demonstration? No, Your Honor.
Not our bullets. Former Kamukunji OCS says police were unarmed during demos as the Rex Masai inquest continues. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Yula Nzale. So human rights activists on Monday staged protest outside Nairobi Funeral Home and Central Police Station, demanding justice following the controversial death of blogger Albert Ojwang, who died under unclear circumstances while in police custody. The autopsy on Ojwang's body was scheduled to take place today, was pushed to Tuesday, further fueling the protests, who stormed Nairobi Funeral Home demanding that the autopsy should be conducted as planned. As Citizen TV's Ben Kirui now reports, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has condemned the police narrative that Ojwang died from self-inflicted injuries.
Ngong Road near the Nairobi Funeral Home was blocked by angry demonstrators who carried placards chanting slogans as they call for transparency and accountability from the police. They allege that Ojwang was killed by police officers after being arrested and detained at the Central Police Station in Nairobi.
The police say that he died as a result of head injuries that resulted from him hitting his head against a wall in the police station. A clearly false and incorrigible assertion.
As we stand here, we know that Ojwang was alive and kicking with his family. And he was picked when he was alive and kicking, now he's dead. So already a violation has taken place. We are just investigating who, why, how, but the violation has taken place. He has been killed by the state, by the government. That is true.
No matter what happens, custody, police, someone should not lose their lives. And we are here, we've been here since yesterday, and we'll continue to be here to ensure that justice is done. And we are telling the police that Kenya is not a police state. Interdicting officers by and itself, junior officers, is not enough.
Inside the mortuary, Ojwang's body lay awaiting a post-mortem to determine the exact cause of death. However, the autopsy was postponed to Tuesday for unclear reasons, a move that further escalated the protest, with the demonstrators storming the funeral home.
A lot of things are not adding up. We are still not able to give a concrete decision or position on what really caused the death of Albert.
or who is culpable, or why he was arrested, and even if he was arrested for the allegations that were being made against him, we're not able to understand why we are being told that he was being held in isolation and why we are being told that he hit his head against the wall.
What happened has no place in this society in today's time. It is really a shame that yesterday, of course, you're aware that investigations were not carried out. There was
Tensions escalated further during the protest when individuals believed to be plainclothes police officers mixed with the crowd, prompting confrontations with the demonstrators who accused them of attempting to disrupt the peaceful protest. Later, the protesters marched to Central Police Station, demanding access to the area where they claim Ojwang was fatally assaulted. They called for an independent investigation into the incident and expressed frustration over what they described as a cover-up by the authorities. Ojwang's death has sparked widespread outrage online and offline, with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights saying it has since commenced independent investigations into the matter, condemning the police over premature narrative that Ojwang died from self-inflicted injuries. The Law Society of Kenya LSK demands that justice be served.
We equally call upon the Deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police Service, Mr. Eliud Langat, to publicly and unconditionally recuse himself from taking part or influencing the investigations in any way, save for as may be required of him as a potential witness. We know that this recusal is necessary to dispel any apprehension of prejudice and conflict of interest that may arise on his account of his role as the complainant against Mr. Albert Ojwang.
All eyes are now on the Independent Policing and Oversight Authority, IPOA, a body that has come under increasing scrutiny from Kenyans for its perceived inaction in investigating police killings and brutality. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Let's stay with that controversy for a bit. And 8 officers attached to the Nairobi Central Police Station have been interdicted and questioned in connection to the controversial killing of blogger Albert Ojwang. The Inspector General of Police says that those involved in the death of the blogger in police custody will be dealt with according to the law. As Emmanuel Toh now reports, the IG has also revealed that the Deputy Inspector General of Police in the National Police Service, Eliud Lagat, was the complainant in the case leading to the arrest of the blogger.
Monday morning and the Nairobi Central Police Station was a beehive of activities, with an entourage of top security bosses led by the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja making their way into the station to provide answers to the myriad of questions concerning the controversial death of blogger Albert Ojwang in police custody Saturday night. The IG saying action had already been taken against some of the officers who were in charge on the night of the incident.
Number one is the officer commanding the station, that is the Central Police Station OCS, the duty officer who was on duty during the night in question, the cell sentry on duty at the time, all officers who were on duty at the report office that night, and any other officer found to have been on duty or otherwise involved during the incident.
Those arrested and already in police custody include the officer commanding station Samson Talam, his deputy Samuel Nganga, Corporal of Police Charles Morioki, who was the duty officer, Police Constable Debian Lusweti on the crime aid, Police Constable Peter Kimani, who was in charge of the cell sentry, and Police Constable Evelyn Kanyiri, who was in charge of the report office personnel.
We have interdicted to allow for a speedy investigation, to ensure that there is no interference whatsoever with these investigations. That is basically the reason why we have interdicted them. If any one of them is found to have committed an offense, then so be it. the law will deal with it.
Kanja saying Ojwang was arrested in connection with an alleged defamation complaint lodged by his Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the National Police Service, Eliud Lagat.
There was a complaint that had been launched by the DIG KPS about his name being tarnished. So it is on that basis that investigations were actually being carried out, because he also have got a right to be protected by the same law.
The Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, promising justice for the family of the slain blogger.
I watched the Ojwang on TV crying. I want to assure him and members of the public that IPOA will do everything possible to ensure that justice is served for the family.
That's okay.
Emmanuel To, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, the family of slain blogger Albert Ojwang is demanding a proper explanation on what killed their kin on Saturday. The family says that he was picked up by 6 police officers on motorbikes who assured them of his safety. Crispin Otieno with that report.
Monday morning in Kokwanyo village, Homa Bay County, a serene village nestled beneath a canopy of indigenous trees now echoes with pain, silence, and a deep sense of loss. Faces of family, friends, and neighbors are marked with grief and disbelief, mourning a son, a friend, a scholar, Albert Ojwang. He was just 27, their only child, a university graduate whose life was snatched away too soon. Joseph Okumu, the family's spokesperson, recounts the disturbing moments on Friday afternoon when 6 men in plain clothes riding on motorbikes arrived at their homestead.
Walipofika na wakauliza kama huyo ndio Omondi Albert, hamuna aliyewaficha, na kijana hakutoroka. Moja kwa moja walichukua kijana, wakiwemo maafisa 6, na kati ya wao maafisa 6, maana 2 walitaja jina, Bwana Sigei na Bwana Rapudo. Hao wengine hawakutaja majina yao.
The family says the arrest was linked to post made by Ojwang on his X account, post accusing a senior police officer of corruption.
He was accused of maybe posting something on the social media that one of the senior officers is corrupt. I don't know. It was just a corruption allegation. So that is what they said.
He was taken to Mawego police station where he recorded a 2-page statement. But what followed next has left the village in shock.
Kulitokea nini Nairobi? Bana, habari tunayopata ni kwamba tunaambiwa kijana aliyetoka nyumbani buheri wa afya, hakuwa na homa hata kidogo. Kijana huyu hakuwa na ugonjwa wa kifafa, kwamba amejigongesha ukutani. Tunakataa kama familia. Tunakataa, hamuna ukweli hata kidogo hapa. Tunakataa na tunapinga kauli hiyo.
Tunataka ukweli, serikali tuambie, kaunti pia iangalie, ni msomi, sio mtu ambaye hakusoma. Kama ni mtu ambaye ni ako na tabia nyingine kwenye ukoo ama area, watu wanaweza kusema huyo mtoto alikuwa mkora, lakini tangu hatujasikia.
In Kokwanyo, Ojwang was known as an environmentalist, passionate about nature and community work. A small seedbed, just 3 days old, still stands in his compound. A simple, silent reminder of the dreams he held dear. Crispin Otieno, Citizen TV.
Now tonight, Citizen TV brings you exclusive details on the ongoing investigation into the death of Albert Ojwang while in police custody. Authorities are relying heavily on crucial CCTV footage to piece together the final hours of his detention. However, documents obtained by Citizen TV reveal that Albert Ojwang died just 1 hour after being booked at the Central Police Station. Our investigative team has identified at least 8 surveillance cameras strategically placed within and around the station. Our reporter Ode Francis has the details.
This is the entrance to the holding cell where Albert Ojwang was brought after being interrogated at the DCI offices. There was heavy police deployment inside and outside the station, signaling the gravity of the probe. Present at the scene today were Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, alongside his two deputies Gilbert Masengeli and Eliud Lagat, as well as the Deputy Director Criminal Investigations and the IPOA chairman.
He was later booked at the Central Police Station at the occurrence book number 136/7/6/2025 at 21:35 hours. During a routine cell inspection, Ojwang was found unconscious. He was immediately rushed to Bagathi Hospital for treatment, as documented at the occurrence book number 9/08/06 of 2025 at 01:39 hours.
But according to exclusive details from the occurrence book seen by Citizen TV, Albert Ojwang was the 59th suspect admitted to the station at 21:35 hours, booked under the charge of false publication. Just 1 hour and 10 minutes later, at 3:45 hours, the occurrence book documented his death, signed off by two officers. IPOA officers who have been camping at the station since the tragic incident have since collected and carried away key evidence. Among the evidence investigators are examining are a pair of blood-stained white Crocs, a black top soaked in blood, a wet maroon sweater, a water bottle, a transparent drinking cup, a jug and a tumbler, all collected from the scene. Sources close to Citizen TV reveal that inside the cell where Albert Ojwang was held, blood stains were visible on both the walls and the floor. Water was also found smeared across the floor, details corroborated by his father and legal team who dismissed the suicide narrative. Questions as to why Albert Ojwang was locked alone in a cell continue to linger, even as IG Douglas Kanja interdicted all officers involved. A quick survey of Central Police Station shows 6 strategic locations fitted with a total of 8 surveillance cameras. 4 are positioned at the main entrance, 2 covering the station's exterior, and 2 capturing activities inside the gate. Inside the station, 2 more cameras monitor the reporting area near the holding cells. This footage is considered crucial in reconstructing the events leading to Ojwang's death. So far, Kevin's account while he was in custody at Kamkunji Police Station has been deactivated, raising more questions than answers, while ODPP on the other side stating that Kevin has no case to answer.
OCPD aliniambia saa 7 za usiku. Ndiye aliniambia ya kwamba alifahamishwa kufika Mbagathi kwamba mwili amekata roho. Kijana amekata roho. Ulithibitishwa Mbagathi. Hivyo ndivyo alivyoniambia.
Ode Francis, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
And still on Ojwang's death, ODM legislators are now demanding for an immediate investigation into the death of blogger Albert Ojwang, dismissing the police claims that Ojwang took his own life in custody. Led by Minority Whip Milim Odhiambo, the lawmakers have raised an alarm over what they termed as a return of police brutality against the youth holding contrary opinion. Stephen Leto has the details.
The death of blogger Albert Ojwang has caught the attention of the political class, with ODM MPs coming out strongly to condemn the death in police hands.
For me, it's not even about the fact that he has died. Who gave the order for that young man to be brought to be arrested?
You wonder, why was it necessary to transport this young man all the way from Homa Bay to here? Are there no police stations there where he could be kept?
The lawmakers directed their anger at President William Ruto for failing to honor his promises of ending police brutality.
The president himself has said that he will bring to order the people that are in the government that are rogue, and we want to therefore tell the president, please strike your whip.
The Independent Police Oversighting Authority must conduct an open and credible investigation, and if it cannot, maybe it should pave way for an inquest.
Reaching Central Police Station, you tell us
stories which we only hear in movies, that Albert Ojwang hit his head severely on the on the wall. Does not add up. It's so sad.
The Council of Governors also adding its voice in condemning the death of the young blogger.
Albert get justice, and that all the perpetrators who were involved directly and indirectly pay a price in line with the law.
In Kitui, leaders who accompanied the Deputy President for the Economic Empowerment called for immediate arrest and prosecution of officers behind the killing.
Anybody who may have caused that death is brought to book without favor and without fear, because one life of a Kenyan lost is too many lives lost. I want to challenge those charged with the responsibility. Please get to the root cause of the murder of that young Kenyan so that Kenyans can restore their faith in our police.
Don't just interdict, go to the bottom of why Ojwang was arrested, taken to the cell, walking and looking healthy, and the next day he was no more.
Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
Let's cross over to Nakuru now, where 10 police officers have been arrested in connection with the shooting incident in London Estate, that's in Nakuru County, that left one person dead. The civilian was allegedly shot moments after confrontation between police officers and residents of the London area. As Marian Nyambura now reports, the Independent Policing and Oversight Authority has been called in to investigate the matter.
Irate residents lit bonfires along Kabarak London Road to protest the killing of a civilian who was allegedly shot by police moments after a confrontation broke out.
Wamefanya vibaya sana. Wametuzoea. Mmoja wavunje mguu. Huu sasa wamepiga risasi ya mdomo.
Nina machungu kwa maana huyo mzazi ameuliwa, ana watoto wako na ana bibi, watoto wamebaki wakiwa yatima. Haki iko wapi kwa hii Kenya? Tunaelekea wapi? Sisi tunasikia uchungu kama wananchi.
Nakuru County Police Commander Michael Mwaura says the officers are in custody and an identification parade will be conducted on Tuesday to identify the officer who fired the shot. A police officer was also injured during the altercation and is currently hospitalized.
Officers who have been involved in the incident have been subjected to investigations. The firearms have been confiscated and subjected to ballistic, and the investigation is going to be handed over to IPOA.
Following the incident, irate youth stormed Nakuru Teaching and Referral Hospital.
Kuna officers walikuwa wanafanya patrol within the CBK, within the city center, na wakashika kijana mmoja ambaye alikuwa na pedo bangi. Baada ya kushika hiyo kijana, aliwaelezea hii bangi anapewa na dira, ambaye dira anaishi area estate moja inaitwa Radan, upande ya Nakuru West. Wakati hao ofisa walienda huko, waliweza kukutana na dira, na hapo fujo ikatokea.
Marian Nyambura, Citizen TV.
Let's stay with security matters, and the quest to identify who was responsible for the murder of Rex Masai seems to have hit yet another snag on Monday after the officer commanding Kamkunji police station in June last year denied that any of the officers under his command had firearms on their deployment. Robert Mugo, who testified at the Rex Masai's inquest, told the court that the officers he deployed only carried with them batons and tear gas to keep looters at bay, and that no one was killed in Nairobi's lower central business district where he had operational command. Kamau Mwangi has the details.
The unraveling of the puzzle of who pulled the trigger and made the fatal shot that took the life of 29-year-old Rex Masai, making him the first casualty of the 2024-2025 finance bill protest in June last year, will take a little longer after the man in charge of the Kamukunji police station last year denied any of his officers having been involved in the shooting of civilians at the height of the Gen Z protests. Robert Mugo, the now officer commanding Githurai police station, told the court on Monday that although the Kamukunji police station had 300 police officers, only 60 officers were under his command during the protests, and that none of them had a firearm, as their responsibility was to safeguard businesses in the lower CBD by keeping looters who had infiltrated the protests at bay.
Did you encounter any death? Anyone who was killed during that demonstration?
No, Your Honor.
At the lower CBD?
No, Your Honor.
It's no death. Their inquiry was open. It's active, pending.
No, Your Honor.
In Kapunju.
No, Your Honor.
There is none.
No.
Did you hear of anyone who was injured or killed during the demonstrations, especially at the lower CBD?
Lower CBD? No.
He further told the court that the deployment of KDF to contain the protest made the situation even more difficult, as there was no proper operational coordination between themselves and the soldiers.
He told me he failed it too.
But you know their identity?
No, Your Honor.
You also know whether the deceased Masai are spotted within the special
I'm not aware.
His testimony today, raising questions under whose command Isaiah Murangeri, the Kamukunji police station based police officer suspected to have fired the fatal shot, was. Meanwhile, the Director of Public Prosecutions has asked the court to compel suspects in the murder of the Kianjokoma brothers to attend court so that the case can kick off after delays that have seen the case drag on for close to 3 years. The case failed to start its marathon 5-day hearing after the 6th accused person, James Mwaniki, was a no-show in court, with his lawyer Danstan Omari telling the court that he was admitted at the Thika Level 5 hospital.
Shall confirm physically.
Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV.
And on that road, the Monday Report takes a quick break. Thank you for staying with the Monday Report live from Salama Jamia Masjid Hall in Kibra. We'll have a conversation on the 2025-2026 budget. But before that, let's talk about something else here. The selection of senior school pathways under the competency-based curriculum, that's a CBC, has kicked off nationwide. 1.2 million grade 9 learners are expected to choose 3 subject combinations and 4 schools per pathway using a new automated platform rolled out by the Ministry of Education. Basic Education Principal Secretary Ambassador Julius Bitok says that the process will run for 3 weeks and close on June 30th, 2025. Emily Chebet has the details.
The pioneer class of competency-based education is making history as over 1 million grade 9 learners begin to map out their academic future. For the first time, learners will select their senior secondary school pathways, choosing subjects combinations and schools based on interest, ability and career goals. Basic Education Principal Secretary Ambassador Julius Bitok confirms that 80% of senior secondary schools have already uploaded their subject offerings for next year, readying the system for the grade 10 intake.
Head teachers around the country are busy with the learners, trying to engage in this selection process. And we are doing it under KEMIS, our new system.
Using the new online platform rolled by the Ministry of Education, each learner must select 3 subject combinations and up to 12 schools, 4 schools per pathway.
We've left the idea of a national school, extra county school, sub-county school. So right now, we're just looking at the infrastructure of schools. We are looking at the preparedness of schools in terms of their tradition, their performance, and so on. That's why we have clustered them into 4. And also day schools. So that is what is giving us the clusters.
The Ministry of Education has been conducting assessment of schools. Some have been recommended for upgrade to a higher cluster, enabling them to offer all 3 pathways.
It requires that the resources are pumped in this school to ensure that we have the proper infrastructure to be able to provide a truly the 3 pathways that we aspire to become as a school.
According to education experts, it is crucial that learners, parents and teachers fully understand the subject pathways available in order to help students make informed and suitable choices.
It is helping the learner to identify those learning areas that enable them to get to their careers in their life. So I think we've come up, for us as a Gravity CBC Resource Center, we have come up with 5 steps that we think can help the learner to make the right choice.
In the selection process, they check performance, aptitude, personality, extracurricular activities, life goals and opportunities. According to Bitok, the ministry has clustered schools based on the pathways.
The first option is where a learner has no ability and no interest. This one is a no-go zone. The next one is where there is ability and no interest. The third one is where there is no ability and there is a lot of interest. The next one is where there is ability and interest. And the interest is biased. This is the best choice.
Emily Chebet, Citizen TV.
Now, police in Kirinyaga County have launched investigations into a spate of robberies targeting worship centers. In the latest incident, the gang, which has been vandalizing churches, broke into ACK All Saints Church in Gatwe, drank sacramental wine, ate communion bread, and made away with valuable property amounting to thousands of shillings. Marian Nyambura has the details.
Staff at the ACK All Saints Church in Gatwe, Kirinyaga were in disbelief Monday morning when they arrived at the sanctuary and discovered the doors had been forcibly opened. The suspected robbers are said to have vandalized the church and caused significant damage.
Waliingia kwa ofisi, wakachukua wine chupa 5, halafu wakaingia kwa kanisa, wakachukua screens ambazo huwa tunatumia wakati wa service. Na pia walienda strong room wakachukua mixture.
Property estimated to be worth 700,000 shillings was reportedly stolen during the incident.
Hii sio kitu ya kawaida na ombi letu ni wakaweze kumbadilika, wakanjirudi, wakaone hayo matendo ambayo wametenda sio kitu ambacho kinaweza kufurahisha Mungu.
The suspects had tied up the guard inside the church where he had been held for several hours before being rescued.
A laptop na vitu zingine ambazo ni dogo hivi. Alafu wakaenda kwa kazizi, wakaiba, kulikuwa na pesa na DeFi. Na hata kibuyu ya watchman ile ilikuwa na chai, aliweza kubeba.
Sijaifikiria hivyo na nikaambia Mungu atuonekanie kwa sababu hii kitendo si nzuri, na hao watu wenye wamefanya hivyo ni laana wanachukulia watoto wao na hata familia zao.
Tumeonelea sasa wamewaacha kuimba huko kwa kijiji, sasa wameingilia makanisani. Juu sasa hapo ni kusema hii maneno sasa imezidi.
This is the 5th reported incident of a church break-in in Kirinyaga County in a span of 3 months. Marian Nyambura, Citizen TV.
Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has defended the economic empowerment program targeting women, youth and small-scale traders and SACCOs, terming it a complementary drive to elaborate policies aimed at stimulating economic growth at the grassroots and creation of jobs and income opportunities. Addressing 5,000 small-scale traders, boda riders and Juakali artisans in Kitui, that's in Kitui Central constituency rather, Kindiki said critics of the program had failed to appreciate the role of grassroots enterprises in accelerating the country's economic growth and the impact of boosting millions of Kenyans at the bottom of the economic pyramid. Kindiki, who was accompanied by a host of leaders, including Majority Leader in the 2 chambers of Parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah and Aaron Cheruiyot, appealed to Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka to reconsider his political dalliance with impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, terming him a divisive and polarizing figure who is a threat to national unity.
Waswahili walisema kutoa ni moyo si utajiri. Kuna watu wale wanapiga hii program ambaye ni matajiri, wako na pesa mingi, lakini hawezi kukupatia kitu yoyote. Kwa hivyo hii program ya kusimama na watu ya kinyozi, watu ya salon, mama mboga, watu ya bodaboda, watu wa mkokoteni, haitasimama kwa sababu ni program ya hiari, sio program ya lazima.
monitoring several sectors in the economy of unfair competition. This follows numerous complaints of unfair competition as well as whistleblower accounts in sectors such as agriculture and the steel industry. And as Jimmy Mbogo now reports, the regulator is committed to ensure strict compliance with the competition laws, noting that competition principles are at the heart of the national and regional economic policy.
The Competition Authority of Kenya is putting players in the cement industry, steel industry, edible oils and the agriculture sector on notice of a persistent violation of competition regulations in the country. According to the authority, this follows numerous complaints that have been raised by stakeholders in the value chain, prompting the authority to monitor compliance.
Edible oil industry, we are also watching it to ensure that there is fair competition in that edible industry. We are also looking at cement industry to see what is going on there. We are keen and we are watching. The other area also that we are keen to watch is the issue of cross-border in terms of value chain in agriculture.
The authority has also expressed concerns over the conduct of players operating in the digital marketplace, an issue that the authority says has prompted the Competition Amendment Bill of 2024, which seeks to empower the authority with legal muscle to ensure that competition laws and consumer protection are enforced.
To ensure that we have defined that market because it is not currently defined in the law, and then also to give us the legal provisions to be able to use the latest tools, the latest regulatory frameworks to be able to regulate the digital markets and e-commerce. It's mostly lending, digital lenders. That is the biggest area. And this law gives us now the room to work with other agencies to rein in anything that is not being done well.
The authority, which is hosting the 8th Africa Competition Forum AFC Leadership, has called for collaboration to sharpen skills, deepen expertise and expand impact across the continent, noting that cross-border cartels and mergers are increasingly shaping the market dynamics. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, Kenya has launched a bold new campaign to tackle one of the country's most dangerous food safety threats, aflatoxins. The multi-agency initiative unveiled today in Nairobi brings together government ministries and international partners in a major push to protect public health and secure the nation's food supply. Dennis Otieno has more.
The project, called the Aflatoxin Surveillance and Management Project, falls under the Reclaim KE initiative. It is a joint effort led by the Kenya Bureau of Standards, working alongside the Ministries of Health, Agriculture, Trade and key partners like the Danish government through Danida. The project, funded to the tune of 230 million shillings, aims to combat aflatoxins, which are highly toxic substances produced by fungi in crops like maize and groundnuts. These toxins have been linked to liver cancer, stunted growth and even death.
This has been a major challenge in our ecosystem, where we have foods which are destroyed because of aflatoxin, we have foods which have been rejected, and we have gone into losses. Farmers have gone into losses because of the rejections.
The 5-year program will use cutting-edge tools, including microbiome research, wastewater monitoring, and AI-powered early warning systems to detect and manage contamination.
We want to encourage teamwork, because this war cannot be won just by KEBS. And KEBS, in line with the issue of protecting traders, I think we've increased capacity in terms of surveillance, particularly when it comes to the line of the informal sector.
As the private sector, if you are a person producing food, you need to make sure that it is safe for everyone to eat. Food safety is not negotiable, and that is the promise that we have to all our consumers, that we must make sure what is out there is safe for human consumption.
As Kenya positions itself as a regional hub for agri-trade, officials emphasize that eliminating aflatoxins is not only a health issue, but also a prerequisite for accessing international markets. Dennis Otieno, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, Kenya's supply chain and logistics sectors continue to grow exponentially in recent years, playing a pivotal role in facilitating trade and industrial growth. More ventures have now come up with innovative ways of enhancing efficient and automated movement of goods for business and streamline the payments as well. One such venture is Leta Technologies, a Kenyan supply chain and logistics software as a service provider, helping businesses move their products efficiently. Edward Chwea tells us more in our Made in Kenya segment.
Anthony Keter was working in the fast-moving consumer goods sector when he saw how companies struggled to move goods around. Armed with a background in IT, he teamed with friends to found Leta, a supply chain and logistics software as a service venture to help businesses move goods around easily.
We exist to deliver 3 key outcomes for the businesses that we work with. Number 1, to help you drive on-time delivery. Number 2, to help you reduce returns. And number 3 is to help you optimize and cut your logistics costs over the time that we work together.
Leta uses artificial intelligence to enable efficient and automated movement of goods, enabling distributors to see the most efficient route to serve their customers quicker.
We integrate our platform into your ERP or order management solution. Your customer orders that are for delivery, today or tomorrow, would stream into our platform in real time. So we have an automated integration that supports this order management process. From there, our system plans delivery routes, assigns the appropriate driver in-house or delivery partner to deliver those, and then managers get dashboards, data dashboards where they can see in real time performance metrics, and insights onto those key KPIs.
Hauliers have a dedicated driver app that shows them all the different stops they need to make. It also gives them a sign-off form for proof of delivery. Meanwhile, customers receive a web link to track the delivery of their orders.
We have over 30 customers that we work with, and we generally focus on enterprise and large customers. So some of the key customers that we work with include KFC, Pizza Inn, Chicken Inn, Galitos, distributors and manufacturers like Gilani's Distributors and Chandari Industries.
Leta's success saw it get a major boost when in March 2025, the venture raised 648 million Kenyan shillings in seed capital to scale its operations in Africa in an investment round led by European venture capital firm Speed Invest.
It's a testament that big and meaningful technology is being developed here in Africa, here in Kenya, right? Yeah. For us, really, that empowers us to focus on how can we grow to more markets. Last month, we actually launched Mauritius, but we have a few more key markets like Ghana, Tanzania that we're pursuing, and then some other sub-Saharan African markets.
Leta currently operates in Kenya, Uganda, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Nigeria, but as Keter says, they look forward to taking their services to the global stage and be one of the key supply chain and logistics providers.
I expect us to be present in more markets by the end of this year and further. But we definitely expect to be an owner of last mile logistics in Africa, right? If you're moving physical goods, it should be delivered by Leta.
Edward Chwea, Made in Kenya, Citizen TV.
Let's wrap up with some sporting action now. In the race for promotion to the FKF Premier League has intensified with 4 teams in the race to clinch 2 available slots. Fortune Sacco boosted their promotion chances by edging out 3K FC 2-1 on Sunday afternoon to cling on to 3rd place. At the bottom of the National Super League, Migori Youth have boosted their chances of survival after a hard-fought 1-0 win over Luanda Villa at the Migori Stadium. Migori scored the only goal via first-half penalty. Migori should have won by a bigger margin, but they could not convert their chances. With SS Assad and Muhoroni Youth already relegated, 3 teams, Migori Youth, Mombasa Elite and Mombasa Stars, are fighting to remain in the 2nd division.
a big boost ya kwenda Mombasa. Tumepata 3 point. Ni kitu tulikuwa tunatarajia sana ile toka tumejua vizuri na fight relegation. Hii 3 point ilikuwa tunahitaji kushinda kila kitu. I think tactically we have worked, my boys were disciplined in their positions. Na pia tunatarajia kuwa attacking kidogo imetulemea kidogo kwa sababu hii ni game tungekula around mabao 4 ama 5.
The Aberdares region is the latest frontier to start a swimming development program after a successful gala that brought together more than 20 teams in a developmental gala organized by the Aberdare Aquatics Association. The gala attracted 20 teams from Murang'a, Kiambu and Nairobi counties. In the boys category, Crawford International School from Kiambu County emerged the winners with a massive 3,058 points, followed by Aqua Sharks Finn with 818 points. Nairobi's Aga Khan School completed the podium with 696 points. In the girls category, Crawford International again School picked the first position with 2,185 points, followed by Aga Khan School and Aqua Finn Swim Club. The developmental galas are the first stage of swimming competitions where swimmers are exposed to competition before they graduate to the second stage, which is the invitational competition. Now, the third and top stage is the level 1 competition where athletics with qualifying times are allowed to participate.
It's been very good to showcase my talents and also to see where I am placing after all the training that I've put in. And I'm really enjoying the event so far. It's been very competitive. It's been it's fun.
My objective really, I just want to be able to also, if the opportunity comes, to be able to swim for the national team. I wasn't able to do that this year, sadly, but hopefully by next year.
The new national women volleyball team, Malkia Strikers technical bench, have pulled a near total overhaul of the team ahead of the FIVB World Championships in September. That's in Thailand. Only a handful of players from the Paris 2024 Olympic Games have been retained by head coach Geoffrey Omondi. Veronica Adhiambo, Immaculate Nekesa, Juliana Namutiri, Lois Simiyu and Pamela Adhiambo are the only survivors from Paris. Meldina Sande and Jemima Siangu, who were dropped from the final squad from Paris, have been given a nod alongside Gladys Ekaru, who is making a comeback. Immediate former captains Triza Atuka and Edith Wisa have been left out alongside Olympians Sharon Chumba, Agrippina Kundu, Leonida Kasaya and Esther Mutinda. The technical bench has called up youthful players between 20 and 25 as they target a new-look team to make an impact at the 2028 Olympic Games.